All right, you guys, today was good. I only concentrated on earnings. I didn't day trade at all. I wanted to make sure that I just really focused because I've been doing really well on earnings, but I notice if I'm not 100% prepared, I don't capture that much. So I want to show you several things. I updated AI midday to give me better, more updated information. And boy, did that change my mind completely. I had all the tickers for this afternoon put into AI early this morning, like 2, 3 in the morning. And then I had two tickers picked. And then I updated my prompts with AI and asked it, and I'll tell you in a second what I asked it. And it gave me two very clear winners. So I went ahead and put those on my charts. And then I need to learn how to hold. So on Dell, as an example, you know how I get in, if you've seen my videos, I get in 25 to 50 shares and I just instantly scalp on that first candle that goes straight up. And usually right as it goes up, I'm scalping and I get out right at the top. And I do it every single time. Well, then it drops down and price will usually go back up. And I think, oh, I should have stayed in it. So what I did this time is I scaled out about half my shares. We'll go over that. And I held a few of them and the price went way, way, way down. Well, by the time it came back up, I sold, it was struggling for several candles. So I sold them and I actually lost $200. I would have had 1,000 if I just got them all out at once versus letting a few ride. Well, then what happened is Dell's still running. It's almost at $400. I got out at 340. I could have had another, what, $6,000. I could have had $6,000 total instead of the 780 or 800 that I got. 800 or 7,000 if I would have just waited till right now. The problem is you don't know if it's going to keep going like that. When I first started trading earnings, this was 3 years ago, I lost so much money. I lost my ass because I would think it was going to keep going. And when you get a big, huge dump because of the earnings call, because earnings is released, let's say at 135, and at 145 is the earnings call. Well, if they say something bad, like they're going to spend a bunch of money, price just dumps and you are screwed. Now you lost it all. So I got to find a way that I can capture some of that without, like, I don't want to scale out up here, have it go to here, have price go to here, scale out, then wait and have it go to here. That's good if it does. But I don't want to scale out here, have it come down, and then just continue down because then I lost everything. I just break even. So if any of you know in the comments any ideas, if you do anything that works for you, I'm just looking at $6,000 I could have had if I just held. But there was a lot of drawdown there that I had to take to get to that. It's just, I don't know. I got to figure it out. So I'm working on that. Anyways, I'm going to show you how I used AI to change my mind in the middle of the day. I had two picked out. So I've got my notes here. So midday, I actually prompt, if you watch my video of the weekend, you'll know how I prompt AI. Go back and watch that. And you'll know the prompts I ask AI to give me. And I usually do that early in the morning. First thing, I sit down 2, 3 in the morning. And so I had two tickers picked out. I always have two. And then midday, because one of them was running, and I thought, oh, when something is running real high, I don't want to get into it. So I asked Gemini, out of all the ticker symbols that AI has given me a summary for, I said, can you give me a comprehensive, well, first I said, my first prompt, can you give me a comprehensive earnings preview for, and I would name a ticker, and then once it gave me the comprehensive earnings, I'd ask it again for the next ticker, and then the next one, and just keep going. So then I go back and I check all the historical charts, just make sure that my original thesis is lined up with AI. Well, the midday prompt was, out of the following ticker symbols that you gave me, which ones should be the top two of my picks that have a better chance of beating earnings and have a price spike higher? It was freaking incredible because then AI just went bingo, got two of them and told me exactly why each of those, which for me was Dell and ESTC, which MDB, MongoDB, I've always wanted to trade that at earnings and I would have made a killing on that. And I had the money to trade it, but I decided to take one that was a very low price point. It was about $15 per share. And then Dell, which was 300 and something dollars. And the $15 stock was only meant to run about $6 either way. I made very little on that. I traded really small share size, 25 shares. And I'll show you how you can trade earnings even with really small share size on a really cheap stock and still make money in just a couple minutes. So then I'll show you Dell and how that turned out. And if I would have held, that would have been the number one. And I realized right at the last minute, I thought about selling ESTC and putting all the money into Dell right before the close. And I should have done that, but I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and have it go bad, because it could have went bad. You don't know what's going to happen. You cannot predict. So I'm all about small base hits. Make, like I did about 800 today, a little over 800. I'd rather make $800 in a few minutes after the close with no stress and have two tickers that are kind of different from each other than to put all my eggs in one basket and lose it all. Because if I had a big losing day like a grand today, it would have devastated me. So please tell me in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Do you just FOMO and go all in and YOLO it? Or do you just stick to small base hits and try to keep it smooth? Every day I just want to get these, $200 to $500 every day. That's a lot of money. That adds up. Okay, guys, let's go check out the charts and I'll show you where I got in and how it turned out. First off, I thought I was going to trade Sentinel 1, and it ended up dropping $4 right after earnings. So I'm really glad that midday I decided to ask AI again, and I asked AI to give me an update and to pick those two top ticker symbols out of all the ones I gave it early in the morning. And I asked it based off of the information that's already been trading the last few hours now to give an update. And boy, did it change. So I'm going to continue to do that. And you can plug in any kind of prompt in there that's important to you. I keep it pretty simple, actually. All right. And then the information that I get on those earnings recaps, it's about 3 pages for each ticker that it gives me. And I just real quick scroll through them and make notes on a notepad. And the main thing I'm looking for is what the expected move is, either positive or negative. It'll give you a range, like $10 move, which means either going up or down, depending on if it's good earnings or bad. And it'll also give you a bull case and a bear case scenario for price targets. So I mark those on my chart a lot of times. And then it'll also tell you why it might be a sketchy trade to do, because there might be something hindering the stock in earnings that would make it drop. So I go over all that pertinent information and then make my decision, and then today updated it. So what we have here is Dell. I'm going to show you this one first because it was the big one. And you guys, I really feel like I left so much on the table. I'm going to look over here and you'll see this 15-minute chart. The main thing I want to show you is pre-market and as price is continuing and formulating all day, all the way up to about late midday. I'm marking levels here of what's happened. And a lot of this is actually done pre-market, and those levels stay. First off, I take a 1-day chart, and then I'll sometimes drop down to this 15-minute chart, open it up and mark levels. And then midday, I'll mark levels on this 15-minute chart just to see if I need to add 1 or 2. And usually they're still spot on. You can trade levels all day and you mark them. They're past levels. So every now and then, if you want a level, like if there's $10 in between levels, you could take the 5-minute chart and look between there and see if there's any pivot points that makes sense where you could mark your levels. So I decided to wait all day on Dell because look, it ran up here and I just waited too long. I should have got in here early morning. So I waited too long, it ran up, and I just sat here and kept waiting. And then it started hesitating right at this level, comes down to this next level. And for a minute, I thought, well, maybe it'll sit at this level, then go. And it was expected to run only $20, $20 to $25. But I really wanted to capture it down here to get more of a move. So my goal was to catch it right here. And that's pretty much where I did. And I scaled in. So you'll see right here, this is right before the close. This line is the close. And I would stretch this out really, really big. But let me tell you, if I do that, I mean, there was such a big movement, you're not going to see any of it. So you've seen it. You can see it over here on the 15-minute if I scrunch it down, just how much it moved. So let's do that. And then I'll show you where I got in. That way you can see the full move today. Oh my God, it's moved. Look at 408, 410. This whole time before I sat and made this video, I was sitting here watching it going, maybe I should still get in. Maybe I should still get in. But you never know. It could take a huge dumping candle. And these candles, look at the length of this to go from 332 in 1 minute to 341. You guys, that's a lot. It's like $9 candle. If it dumps, and some of these candles, it's going up and dumping and up and dumping all at the same time, sometimes with a high spread. I just find that so risky. So please let me know what your thoughts are because you don't know. Look at a couple earnings ago, Palantir jumped up to that 211 and instantly dumped. Oh my God, look at this still going. But there's no way I don't risk it. I'm happy with $773 and I'll just sit here and not risk it. I won't even do 5 shares. I don't want to give away money. I'm so cheap, I guess. Okay. So basically right in this area, I started getting in, and I know this is hard to see. I've got to scrunch it down. Each of these gray lines are 50-cent moves. But if I stretch it out, it'll just take up too much space. So basically I saw this baselining right in here in these levels that I had marked. And I thought, okay, I think this is a good time to scale in. So I was scaling in 10 shares at a time. And I knew I wanted to do 60 shares. So it scaled in here, came down $2. I scaled in again, another 10 shares. Then it scaled down, came down another $2. I scaled in again. Then it came back up to 320. So I scaled in again. Now my average with that plus this one that came down was probably about 320. And then boom, I knew this was going to be kind of weird, that first part. Right in here, you guys always know if you watch my videos on earnings, this area can be weird and sketchy until earnings are officially announced right here. This is people getting in, getting out. I don't know what it is, algorithms or something, but it moves a lot and it's freaky. But I've learned not to sell yet on this, especially on something that was going to be such a good earnings. So it comes up, it comes way down. And it came down here to 317. I took a little bit of drawdown and I didn't care. I knew that I would just wait. So I couldn't even see how high this went. It was literally looking like this. And I just saw it go up. I decided to scale out at 10 shares a piece. So I scaled out. Actually, my first one was 15 shares at 328. Then I scaled out 10 shares at 331. Oh, sorry, that was later. It's these, God, these candles are so tall. They're hard to see all my moves. Let me open this up a bit. I was wondering what was wrong with that. I scaled out right on that candle. That first candle, I always scale out on that. So here's what I did. I wish I would have scaled out or just gotten out completely because then I would have gotten out. Look at that. I sold the first 10 at 344 and it started dumping. It went down to 331. And that's when I took out 25 shares because I got freaked out that it could just keep going. And it did. It went way down. Look at this. I mean, it went down almost to where my cost was. And I thought, damn it, I should have just sold. So I still had about 35 shares or so, if I did the math right. So I scaled out again here, 15 shares, and only caught a little bit. Then scaled out 10 more here. And let's see, that might have been it. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Because it had hesitated so bad here. I thought for sure that it was just done and could maybe go up a little bit and just peter out. Oh my gosh, it just kept going and going and going. And now it's at 417. When I started this video, it was like 398. But you guys, tell me your thoughts. I don't feel comfortable just going and going and going because spread is 40 cents at times. It can be higher. You can get in and it can shoot to $1. And then you try to get out. Look at that, $1.18. If you watch this spread, by the time you click, they can give you $1 spread and $1 out. Well, that's $2. If you try to get in with 100 shares and out on $1 spread each way, you just lost $200 on the spread. Now it still needs to move. Well, if it's going against you, now you're really screwed. So please let me know what you think about that. So I'll move on to the last one. That was 773.14, and it's still going. Look at that, 420. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It may dump tomorrow, so be careful. Okay, the next one was ESTC. This is one I had never heard of before. I don't know anything about this company. I think it's in software or something. I looked it up a little earlier. I just don't remember. So I had seen it. It doesn't move much, and it was only expected to move $6 either way. And look, right here, it closed about 58 and dropped down to 50. So it did its move. And when it went up, it went to 59. So it did exactly what AI said it would. My goal was try to catch the up move, get out fast on that first candle before it takes its dump. So here's what I did. I got in 25 shares. I was actually going to take 50 and scale in. And at the very last minute, I didn't get right before earnings, right before the close, I didn't take those extra 25 shares and I got an extra 10 shares of Dell instead. It was very last minute. I just realized I'd be better off in Dell. So I took 25 shares here and it didn't move much because it wasn't expected to, right? And then once it boomed up on that first candle, it started coming down and I just got out and I made $55.56. And I got out also just because I wanted to get over and concentrate on Dell. So you guys, please tell me what your thoughts are on all of this. I'm learning still, and I lost a lot of money 3 years ago trading earnings just to get to this level of trading earnings, and my risk management that I've learned from all those losses has kept me making money every single earnings. You'll notice I almost never lose money on earnings, but I am so careful and very apprehensive. So I don't make a lot, but I'm making good base hits. So I would love to know your thoughts. Okay, guys, please let me know what you traded today. You know, I love hearing that. No earnings tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I believe there's a few earnings next week. And then I'll be putting out a video this weekend about my risk management and just how I do this, how I really focus on small base hits and how I manage that and how I don't get FOMO. And then I'll talk about my trader rehab program or how I deal with trader rehab, my ways. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Bye.